Dear students, now we're going to study about our last chapter, which is writing research report, and our subject is research method in education, and our code is 8604, and this is in Allama Iqbal Open University uh, website, from where you can get this B.Ed online subject course, download it, and so you can study with my lecture. So let's begin our lecture on writing research report. Number one is the objectives. Of this research. So organizing and structure your research report according to the standard pattern. Interact short and long quotations in a acceptable manner, and prepare the reflecting superview and guide the typist in typing out the research report in an acceptable form. Write the report in a simple, readable style. Number one is introduction. In introduction, the population of the country is coming, in which the methodologies you have also studied in the various chapters, statistical techniques, analysis and data collection will be applied, has been analyzed and interpreted, and research is ready to prepare research report for the ready public for the future research. In this unit, you would be study about the research report in context, formation and basic techniques used in the preparation of bibliography, appendixes, footnotes, quotations, etc. based upon the guidance for the getting the report types. By adopting these techniques, you should be able to present your research report in universal acceptable form. So students, first we will study about the research report. It would be recalled that the report is undertaken when some difficulty is in experiments is realized to desired objective. As the current examination system, it is not helpful to identify the talent, and it is credible only with encouraging the memorization at the need of experimentation to conduct the research in the field. The principal value of the research is to apply everyday problem to the useful research should be properly communicated to the field. For this, students, we are going to study about guidelines for preparation of research report. In this, the statement acceptable to basic assumption. For example, procedure is necessary for the human resource development investigation in education, provide a higher rate of the return and auto-vision added enrichment and technique learn situation. And statement being observed. For the example, the statement of the primary age of the cannot be studied, and when the men and women in the month of the children, there would be a attribute through the documentation to be person whom experienced the opinion. Number two, typically form of the research report. There is no one way to present the research report in the written form. There are many good and acceptable ways. The introductory explanation, the presentation of the data collection and its analysis, a summary of general conclusion and recommendation for the future action. In this, the nature of background of the study, the methodology of the study, presented of the data, summary of the study, and general collection if the is taken, and then the last, the recommendation. Nature of the background of the study. In this, the statement of the problem, the resources of making the study, review of the related literature, future elaboration of the problem, general hypothesis. Methods of study and presenting data. Actual step followed in a course for the research. Instrumental used for the collection of data, validity of the reliability of instruments, population and sample study, description of the evidence gathering, summary, DOTI. So then we have this summary and conclusion. The final chapter should be presented briefly. Argument and data support to the conclusion. It should be contain brief, recapturable on the entire study, and should be presented briefly. Argumented and data support conclusion drawn from the interpretation of data. The recommendation may also be pointed to further studies of problems that should be carried out. Some researchers reflect to put the recommendation to separate chapter. Students, now we're going to study about writing of the report. The beginning, writing the first research report will be remain written in a different and painstaking job, requires carefully planning and frequently reviewing what is, should also be the effective communication and objective unbiased language. Every individual has its own type of writing, and it would be unreasonable to explain there would be a change through the reading. However, it is expected that there is a following guidance given to the beginning would also be presented the report in the accurate form. Guideline for the writing research report is first to prepare a detailed outline. Number second is they adopt a simple style. Number 3 is use dictionary frequently. Number 4 is build strong paragraph. Number 5 is write clear strong sentences. Number 6 is follow the accept practices, the researcher, the reference, and the teacher's consideration, and the occurrence of the large number of your categories, where with this the percentages and decimals will be used. And the last, the revision of the draft also be taken for the research report viewing while it was making. After this, we are going to see introduction of quotations, in which the uses of quotation should be avoided in research report, in which short quotations. 2 other rules in which the word or phrase will be used, and there is authorization will be used. Philosophy for this, punctuation and other marks in a quotation will be used, commas used for this. After this, the referencing come, and references the foot notes will be taken to be citation. The statement may be the text and reference under the publication site. Information provided earlier in the report, the acknowledging specific aid received during the course of the study, and addition and personal exploration interesting to read but not too important enough to provide the text is to be taken in this, in which the authentic bibliography. Now we study about bibliography, in which every piece of source is material dated and investigated from the useful in conducting the research is included in the bibliography given in the end of the research report. A work is not actually concluded, found useful, should not be included. The purpose is not to present an exhaustive list in all relevant available materials, but to list works which had directly applicable in the study, in which number one is unnoted bibliography comes, in which in this thesis the desirable presented an educated bibliography comes, in which there are some different forms in this book, government publications, journals, and they are illustrated. Number second is bibliography entered for a book and report, a book of all reports and printers, a single piece of publication. The title is undirected. In case of reports, a comment and government agencies, the reports and samples is placed to this. Note that the entirely will be used. In this note, the number of the articles written into is to be written. The title of the article is placed with the double quotation marks and also placed, and the third, the number is generalized and understand the publication date, and the number 4, the volume of the number is generalized. The page of the generalized concern, the article in the last, and in the last we have summary. In the summary we have quotations which are material for original source and only quotations, and an evident or an illustrated for some point made in the report. Then we have documentation, which is footnotes and bibliography. Studied about it. Students, now we are going to study about assembling and research report. You have studied about organizing the framework of the research study and mastered the guideline for the written the report and the techniques of the documentation. Use the skills you should be in a position to write the report. First, we are going to students study about arrangement of the material. The material is presented in the research report fall into the 3 categories. What is preliminary, number second is text, and number third is references. And yes, now we're going to study about the types of instructions. The type of instructions can be done by investigating himself. However, it cannot be done. He should also like to be a position to give a proper instrument and guidance to the typist, who is prepared to work with the patients and follow all instruction carefully. The researcher report should be typed on one side of the paper and should be typed double space all through. Expect long quotations. So thank you, students. Hope you are now free. From my side, your research methodology in education professional course code 8604 is now completed, and your course is now completed from Allama Iqbal Open University. Good luck to your examinations. Best wishes from my side. Stay blessed.